Madonna is the most successful solo female artist ever worldwide. She whiffled around in bands for a while before emerging as a pop singer in the early 80s. She had a couple of hits in America, where she's from, before Holiday, which was a worldwide hit, and she's still active. Over the many years of her career, she's gone through constant reinvention of her image. She's particularly known for being somewhat controversial, particularly with her songs about sex, but also touching on relationships and religion. She's also known for having a high level of control in her own career and direction. She writes many of her own songs. She's also involved in film as an actor and a director, and in business ventures. It's people like Madonna that make me feel like I've not achieved much in my life. But on the other hand, not many people have seen my knickers. She made a habit of showing them in school, apparently, and has continued that into her career somewhat. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was Madonna's 8th album. I have heard some of the tracks on this before, but I think it's the first time I've heard the full album. Contextually, this comes after her album Ray of Light, which was a big hit. And apparently at this stage she was being threatened in her dominance as the Queen of Pop by new acts like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. So she decided to spin off in a somewhat different direction. So it's particularly electronic-based pop. There are French and English producers involved. Somebody commented that it has a European sound to it, and that kind of, will it be explained by that? Is mostly kind of dancey pop using electronic sounds. There are obviously samples going on here. There's club style tweaking, which is what I think of it when they kind of twist the tone knob so things get muffled and then come again and get brighter again. There are some slower songs, of course, to balance things out in here, and in some of those there's kind of more mellow analog synthy sounds that remind me of kind of more mellow ELO sound songs from the 70s. There's one bit, so the bit that I probably like least is the bit of stop-start guitar, which is a sample on at the start of the track Don't Tell Me. I'm not a great fan of this. Use something that, is a real instrument, but then you've sampled it and then you put stutteriness to it. So it goes, stop, it's kind of make it jittery. I know you're kind of showing you got the technology and whatever, but I'm not a huge fan of that. Her voice is more or less processed at different times, sometimes apparently very unprocessed. There is some very obvious use of heavy auto-tune. Unlike most of the time when I hear this auto-tune, I actually found that, or felt that it was used quite effectively on this album. And used in particular places to be kind of bring out, I don't know how this works, but to bring out a kind of feeling of vulnerability through it. Mostly it's distinctly Madonna. You can tell who it is singing it. She does have a quite a recognizable voice. It's a fairly strong voice, I would say. The songs, it's pop, so it's we're kind of tending towards the inconsequential side of things. Some of them do have a little bit more depth. So What It Feels Like to Be a Girl particularly was taken by, which happens to have a bit of speech at the beginning by Charlotte Rampling from the film The Cement Garden. And Nobody's Perfect is a nice track. It's got some nice thoughts in it. I found it and it may be just because my knowledge of Madonna is kind of more from previous years, but I felt it was less aggressive than some Madonna. It's certainly less sexually aggressive, and there's little bits of vulnerability in here as well. It feels more rounded than some pop albums do. It's quite a balanced album, and actually, for a pop album, I felt like it was quite a good album. I reasonably liked it. And as always at this point, I'd like to invite me to tell what you think about this. So that's why we've got this thing called comments that you can put on these videos. So please do join in the conversation. And that's it from me for now.
Don't tell me to stop. Tell the rain not to dry.